You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you.
Wait, but why? Well, that's what we're about to discuss in this episode of Ronin Speaks, your tangential learning experience. If you're like me, you might see guns as a bit more than pew-pew death machines, and have gotten into the geekier side of guns due to things like Sigint's rants about your equipment in Metal Gear Solid 3. As I've grown and learned more, I look back on this scene from Metal Gear Solid 3 with greater appreciation for the attention to detail that this game provided. However, the explanation might not make complete sense unless you know a little about how modern handguns operate. To do this, we need to talk about the mechanics and physics of gun jams.
Yes, science!
For safe training purposes, I will also demonstrate their operation using dummy rounds. For now, we need to go back to the basics. Newton's third law states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. When the gunpowder inside the bullet is ignited, it expands in all directions, creating high pressure inside the bullet casing. This ejects the bullet tip down the barrel, but it also exerts an opposing force onto the casing and the firearm. Self-loading or automatic handguns use this recoil to recycle the action. As the slide moves backward, it ejects the spent casing and grabs a new bullet from the magazine and pushes it into battery, and the gun is ready to fire again. An empty pistol requires the first shot to be manually cycled by fully pulling back on the slide. If there is already a live round in the chamber, it's not necessary to rack the slide, meaning that a full magazine can quickly replace another magazine that has only fired a few shots. This is in contrast to revolvers, single-shot pistols, or muskets, which require manual input to load each round. Any interruptions to this process will cause the gun to jam. So Snake is accurate here, but his explanation still doesn't make sense. Primarily because Ocelot's jam was not caused by his shooting, it was caused by his bad loading technique, as we'll get into later. In addition, several modern shooting stances like the Weaver or center axis relock use this style to manage recoil and to reduce the shooter's profile. In the beginning of the game, Ocelot uses a Makarov Pistol, a Soviet handgun well made for executing political prisoners. The Makarov has a capacity of 8+1 rounds. This means that it can hold 8 rounds in its magazine, plus 1 in the chamber. This is important to remember for the next scene where Ocelot is confronted by the Russian soldiers.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
In a testament to this game's attention to detail, Ocelot has manually ejected a live round that was already in the chamber of his pistol. This means that the only bullets in his gun are coming from the magazine, which holds 8 rounds. Ocelot has fired 7 shots, meaning that there's still 1 left in the chamber before he reloads. Ocelot racks the slide using an overhand grip. This normally isn't a problem with an empty chamber, however this proves to be an issue with a loaded chamber. The angle of the cutscene makes it difficult to see in-game, however a live-action remake of the same scene more clearly shows how his hand covers the breach, thus preventing the bullet from ejecting and jamming the cycle. There are several ways you can jam your pistol, including riding the slide forward, short stroking the slide, and limp wrist or jerky movements when firing. Common malfunctions include failure to feed, out of battery, double loading, and stovepipe jam. Many malfunctions can easily be cleared by simply re-racking the slide. However, a failure to feed may be caused by a dud round or because you didn't seat the magazine properly when loading. This can easily be fixed by tapping the bottom of the magazine till it clicks into place, and then racking the slide. Or as people like to call it, tap, rack, bang. Out of battery tends to be caused by riding the slide forward. You can identify this malfunction as the slide will be slightly back with a small gap in the breech. If you pull the trigger on striker-fired pistols like Glocks, you'll have a soft, squishy trigger, but the pistol won't fire. Contrary to popular belief, Glocks do have safeties, and this is one of them. This prevents an out-of-battery firing, which could cause the bullet casing to rupture and ruin your day. Double loading is when the extractor fails to grab the rim of the bullet cartridge, thus leaving it in the barrel. When the slide comes forward, it tries to load another round from the magazine, but it's unable to move forward. Racking the slide in this case will do nothing to fix the problem, as it's blocked. This can easily be fixed by locking the slide back to take pressure off of it, releasing the magazine, and then re-racking the slide before returning the magazine. Stovepipe jams like the one experienced by Ocelot are caused by an issue when ejecting a casing, as the casing gets stuck in between the breech and the slide. These are most often stuck in a vertical position, however they can also be in a horizontal position. Vertical stovepipes can be swept out with your hand, however this can't be done with horizontal stovepipe jams. Racking the slide is the simplest and most reliable method to use for both situations. Squib rounds are another malfunction that can impede the normal cycle of a gun. There's shots that go off with a pop, but no kick, and are usually quieter or make a weird noise.
Oh, hold on. Oh.
They're caused by underpowered bullets that fail to eject the bullet tip from the barrel and also fail to cycle the gun. If this happens, stop shooting immediately. You may be tempted to manually cycle the action and clear it like a jam, however a bullet may still be lodged inside the barrel. If you fire another round, it means that it will collide with the obstruction and the gun will explode in your face. Your gun will be destroyed, you may end up in the hospital and need a Kentucky plug. Trust me, it's not worth it for a 50-cent bullet. Be sure to bring a pencil or something else that can fit down the barrel to check and clear for any possible obstructions. I hope you found this video informative, whether you are interested in firearms or not. If not, I at least hope you're entertained. If so, I hope you learned a little bit more about safe firearms operations. Until we meet again, this is the Ronin.